yes, definitely. And also, it's important to think about the way football or chanting in the stadium. And this is already part of the sound that again, because when you think about it, football is a very communal game. It's a game of the mass. And so I can also add more details. So like the sound that you hear is a This project, like I said, is a research project on the one hand, and then we invited Yara Mekavai to think about the way in which this research could take shape. And for Yara, it was very important to think about the relationship between the sonic and the spatial, because the project is full of so much sound, but also the project is happening in House of Culture and Development, which has a very unique kind of architecture. And so for Yara, it was important to really think about this relationship between the sonic and the spatial, but also the silences that exist between all of these. And so there's a lot of synchronicity happening with these different commentaries in a way that the commentaries speak to each other, but also reverberate around the house. And depending on where you are in the house, you would listen to different kinds of commentary. How football is experienced. And football is experienced both as a communal kind of sport where you enjoy it with large numbers of people, as you can see from the title, Ballet of the Masses, but it's also a sport that you can enjoy by yourself with your radio or your TV. And this again is reflected in the different ways in which the sound occurs both in in open spaces on the one hand, but also in closed spaces. Football commentary is a form of literature. And of course, the next question was, how do we materialize this? And the idea was to think of something more like a sound shower, where the sound really comes at you from so many different angles, because again, for us, spatiality is very important. You can see again where we are. So like spatiality is very important. So we needed to think about the way in which this sound would come together with the research material, but also in a way that is very reflective of the space. And Yara was very much on top of this in terms of thinking about the different relationships between sound and concrete, but also the different ways in which we perceive the sound. And this is the vision of the project, to make us understand that sports commentary is a form of literature, and also because literature is something that is all around us. Earlier I mentioned that football on the one hand is a sport, yes, but it's also an art. Like think about the dedication, or think about the fact that it involves a lot of coordination with a lot of bodies. This is what we call bodily practices. And so when you think about it, football is an art, and at the same time, it's a sport. And so for us, it's important to look at the relationship that exists between all these overlaps, but also to think about football as a form of mediation, and think about the relationship that football has with other kinds of discourse. So football and migration, for example, football and music, football and history, football and racism. These are very important topics that are also addressed in different formats here at House of Culture and Development.